what you want to do?
I just want to create something.
Okay. You want my husband to open the back door so we have some light back there because it's pretty dark in that room back there.
Yeah.
But we're going to go on tour here. This is our waiting room. This will be like our little front room in our house next door. We'll have couches and chairs and tables and where they can sit and visit. A lot of times I have between 6 and 8 clients that come at the same time, and they all sit around and visit. And so this is where they'll all meet and congregate and be able to visit. This office right here is my colonics office.
Oh, you're a Cherokee.
Yep.
Very good.
I like to show that off.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot
you
of
should be
folks.
proud of that.
No, my dad was on the Dawes Commission Road, and so they closed. He was born in 1906, and they closed that roll in 1907.
Wow.
And so anyway.
So we heard you got a great story.
Well, I don't know how much you want me to tell you.
Well, let's ask Jane.
Tell us what was wrong, and then tell us what you did,
Okay.
and then what happened.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. I had been to probably one of the best vitreoretinal specialists for my eyes that the country has. My eyesight was going away started about 12, 15 years ago, and I was very depressed about losing my sight. And he told me, this is it. You're going to have to learn to live with it. Well, I was very unhappy. In fact, a year ago, October, I quit driving a car or a pickup. And so that was hard to give up, to just have someone drive me everywhere and that. And Representative Wes McKinley, he would lead me all over the Capitol building and all over Denver, and I couldn't see. That was, I could see if the light was real bright and everything. So I heard about Jay and I called him. I told him my problem. And he said, I think I can help you. And I said, we'll be going to Denver and I'll talk to you there. So what I did is I got what he calls the kit, you know, with the mud pack and the water stone and the green stone and you know, the carnotite necklace and that. And so I could tell at first, within about 3 days, I began to feel better. And then in about 5 weeks, I began to notice that I could see better because he gave me 2 small stones to put on my eyes about 45 minutes a day. And so I finally, after about 2 months, 2.5 months, I guess it was, I drove my pickup over to Wes's and back to home, which is about it was a total of about 130, 40 miles. And I don't drive a whole lot yet because it seems like it has slowed down as far as getting better.
The improvement.
But he told me, you know, your eyes are slow to heal. But they are still getting better all the time. But there are other things that have helped me. When I was 20 years old, a horse fell on this leg here, and this ankle was not broken. But then, after a while, it began to hurt at various times. I could barely walk on it. And since I've started using these stones, that pain has completely gone away.
Now, so when you say using the stones, you're using the whole kit. You're using the mud pack.
Yes.
You're drinking the water. You have the pendant.
That's right. Yes.
So you're not just doing your eyes. You're doing on a systemic level. Your body is absorbing.
That's right.
The low-level radiation.
That is right.
So you're seeing improvements in a variety of ways, not just with your eyesight getting better.
And when I sit around, usually I have this in my hand. And
oh, this is a nice one.
Is that a nice one?
I don't know. I like it.
Well,
yeah.
That one there.
It's a nice big one.
I've had that quite a while, but I just live with this. And another thing that concerned me is I had a calf to kick me on this knee, and my foot fell down. And of course I wear boots and I could get along, but if I tried to climb a windmill or something or get my right foot in the stirrup, it was real difficult. And that nerve was damaged, so I had surgery. And that knee would hurt. Now then, that knee does not hurt at all.
What do you do to fix it?
I'm sorry?
What do you do to fix your knee?
I'm using the radiation stones.
This one?
All of it.
Are you applying anything directly to the knee?
No. And I have not applied anything directly
it's
to my
just
ankle.
systemic.
I sleep on that thing every night.
The mud pack. Uh-huh.
Yes. And
So your whole body is absorbing the energy of the radiation, and
That's
your whole
right.
body is responding. And,
That's right.
And it wherever the injury is, the radiation is helping it.
that's right. And I've got one good story to tell you too. When I was going to college.
One more,
Oh yeah.
because you've already told us 4.
All right. When I was going to college, I was one that thought, boy, no bull can ever buck me off, so I rode the bulls, when I was young and brave. Well, what happened is one bucked me off, and I hurt.
I bet you.
I didn't know what it was. And in the end, I want to show you. You'll think this. I'm going to show you what finally happened.
When you got bucked off?
Wow, you got a scar there.
Oh, wow, yeah.
You had surgery?
Now, the part of my disc between the vertebrae chipped off and went down and it was aggravating the sciatic nerve.
Right.
I had that surgery. Now, if I worked like, hauling 100-pound sacks of cake or 80 or 90, 100-pound bales of hay or whatever, my back would hurt.
I bet.
The other day, we got 2 pallets of firewood for our fireplace. We had to unload it in front of the garage and put it on a wheel bar and push it back through the back door and stack it on the back porch. And I could tell my back wanted to hurt, but it didn't. It didn't. I could feel it, but it never did hurt. And it was just slightly uncomfortable. And before then, I would have been down for 2 weeks. But the thing I'm trying to say is this. I know, for me, that takes away pain. I know that it's helping my eyes, and I could tell you other people that I know of that have started this since me that have gotten rid of their pain.
See, I think that it's much more profound than getting rid of pain. I think that it is doing, shall we say, remedial work on the biological level. I think it's actually correcting issues, and that's why the pain is going away. Because, it's easy to get rid of pain. You take a pill, a painkiller, and you get rid of pain. This is something that's much deeper and more on a cellular level. There's biological repair that's happening.
Absolutely. I know a lady.
And you're gonna live 20 years longer because of it too.
I've got to tell you this, that when I get back to about 30 or 35 years old, I'm going to quit this.
Yeah, right. Because you're going to have to start going back forward again.
Yes, I'm going to have to catch back up.
And where's your wife? Because if she's not doing it, then you're gonna be too young for her.
I know it. I'm going to I'll have to. Don't tell her, but I'll probably have to do some thinking.
We got to get her on the stones.
Are you on the stones?
That's the solution.
She's tougher than a boot.
She's tougher than a boot.
Yeah, but anyway, I go up to see Jay whenever Wes goes up. I go to the Capitol building with him, and we're going to do a deal back here behind the hotel after a while.
What are you going to do?
We're going to put on some music.
Yeah.
And
That's good for the soul.
we do that in the Capitol building, and that's another thing.
In Denver?
Yes, ma'am. He's a state representative.
Oh.
Wes is. Do you know Wes?
No, we're gonna meet him though.
Oh, Wes. Yeah, I've rode a lot of horseback miles with old Wes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just. You ought to come out here and ride with us. You'd love it.
Yeah, you ride Western, right?
Well, we ride horseback. They got wagons if you want to ride a wagon.
Bareback. Yeah, right.
Yeah, however you want to do it.
Are you a rancher?
I was born on a ranch and raised on a ranch and lived my life around cattle and horses, and yep, I've been there.
And how do you use this rock?
You know, I take objection when they call them rocks, because I can find rocks out there. But anyway, that's all right. I wanted to. This stone, I use it in two ways. I just hold it in my hand a lot, or even my wife uses this one. What we do is we take this and put it in hot water for a couple of minutes, and you can put this up on your forehead and hold it a while and put it back at the base of your neck. You know those neck pillows?
Yeah.
You know, to keep your head from falling?
Right.
You can put one of them and stick this right down in there and lean back against it, and in no time your headache's gone.
Do you think the Cherokee Indians knew about this?
The Cherokees were they were a little different. They were hill people, you know, that were driven out of the south into Arkansas and then over into Oklahoma. And I only knew one guy that was into the Cherokee medicine, and he was an old man, and he actually claimed to have a cure for arthritis. And he said, "I'll tell anybody what it is for $1 million because I want to give it to some religious deal." I don't know. But he died, and he's the only one that I ever knew. And I don't know of any of the Cherokees that actually practice Cherokee Indian medicine.
But the fact that the three earth's ingredients that a medicine man can work with are plants, feathers, and stones, to me means that there was an understanding of a technology based on those three elements.
Well, I do know that the Cherokees were more interested in the herbs than anything.
Right, and so Bev's whole tradition in terms of the berries and the roots that her grandmother would dig up. Yes, but I think there must have been a tradition somewhere in some Indian tribes that had to do with stones and understanding the healing power of stones. And what we don't know, what about the feathers?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about
the feathers.
What about the feathers?
Well, you know, now the stones.
We think alike.
The stones that are being used, if you'll notice, they're mostly in the plains areas of the country.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? Like in Wyoming and up in Utah and up in that. And back in the country where the Cherokees came from, I don't believe they had the stone medicine.
Right. So we'd have to look at the tribes that were native to this part of the country.
That's right. That's the reason they were more into the herbs.
Yeah, exactly.
And
now I have a theory about these stones. I have to say, when I touched your stone, I had some reluctance about doing that because that's your stone. And I have a green stone that I'm a psychoanalyst back in New York, and I have a green stone that sits next to my analytic chair. And I'll pick it up from time to time, and I've noticed that I have the same reluctance to let anybody else touch my stone. I feel like my stone is my stone and that it's absorbing vibrations from me, and that it has become a very personal
I like
entity.
to share my stuff.
okay.
Oh, that's
well,
interesting.
now, you know, and I look at it in a different light, because and I do have a real possessive feeling about this, but I don't really like for it to go out of my sight.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: rather than for it absorbing me, I believe that I absorb what it has to put out.
Yeah, see, I believe both, that it's a two-way street.
Okay, now on the gray stone, are you familiar with that gray stone? Now that one, I would have a tendency to agree more that it does,
That's
absorb
interesting.
and put out.
See, I don't feel that way about the gray stone. I feel that way about the green stone.
Okay, well.
We should ask Jay if he has an opinion about the directionality of
You know,
the
I
energy
get the feeling
absorption.
Jay likes to let people figure it out.
Yeah.
I think he's sort of an initiator. He
Yeah.
initiates you and lets you go on
Yeah.
your way. Like
Yeah.
now we have to find feathers.
Well, see, now the gray stone, it is a carnotite stone like the one that you wear around your neck. So that.
Carol and myself. We'd like to start off with thanking two very special people for supporting us and being behind us. while we've been going through lots of things in the last several months.
Oh, my.
Okay. Wes McKinley has been, he's prepared all of our meat today. Charlotte is in the kitchen. She has done most of the cooking in the other kitchen, which I'll have to run back to and finish my main dishes and bring back. And I forgot one very important person. I'm so sorry. This is Teresa. Teresa will be preparing all the food for everyone that comes to visit.
Very important.
And the most important person will be Jay.
Okay.
Thank you, Jay.
Certainly.
Appreciate
Like
that.
shirts?
Nah, Jim, we change
I'll let you
shirts
take it
twice a
from
week
there.
instead of once a week.
Whether you need to or not.
Hey, you know, everybody here, the reason we're here is because it's not more or less just what I do with radiation hormesis. We got people getting better with cancer and MS, all kinds of things. What we needed was a place to bring people. Because I have too many people calling me up saying they went to Mexico or Brazil or Germany or Asia and they spent tens of thousands of dollars to get better with their health issues, and they'll get worse. So, and no one's ever done this in this country before. They practice this in Europe and Japan, but no one's ever done it here. So what we're trying to do is educate people and have a place where they can go that's not going to cost them an arm and a leg, and keep it here in the country because we can do a better job. And it's not illegal, and it's working. See, I'm not here telling you today why it's working, because the reason for us being here today is to open up this center for people to come to that have problems. You know, they get cancer, let's say, and they don't know what to do except go to Mexico or go to Canada to get some treatment that's not working. See, we have a treatment that's working, and we have a place now that they can come to. We're going to start with working this here. So that's why we're here today. And I appreciate everybody coming. If you have any questions, anybody's here that I haven't met that has any health issues later on they need help with, just get a hold of me. But and I'll explain it to them. But right now, let's take a good look around. This building was built in 1929. It was not that bad when it came in. We tried to do everything best we could until everybody got here. But,
Can I move you over there for the light? Just,
well, like I say, this over here.
yeah. Yep, yeah.
I say the reason we're doing this is, well, like I say, it's historical because they don't have a place where we can do this anywhere. And with Bev, what she's putting on over there, and through the center here, we're going to do great. This is history in the making there, Bev.
I know, Jay.
So,
Well, I have a question, if you don't mind. So people were asking about the radon bath therapy. I don't know if you want to just talk about that little piece of it, why you would be using the baths and the radon. Maybe is it stronger than the stone kit, or?
well, what's happening is you see these people that they're going out and they're using the kits and the stones, okay? A lot of them, like with harsher cancers or even bad MS stuff, they have a lot of die-off in their body that's really bad. So we use the waters here and we can monitor them. And what's important is doing a lot of detox and working the lymph system. See, and that's where it's key, where Bev comes in, because we need that. I have a lot of people where they have the die-off in their body comes so quick and they get just overwhelmed. And so with the waters here, we can adjust that with them, and they'll see what happens with the radiation is when you set in the warm waters. We'll make sure the water absorbs energy of that. Yeah, you open up the pores in your body and it actually goes in quicker. But you have die-off really quick, so when we do this stuff over here, we need people that will pay attention to them and monitor them.
So it will be stronger, would you say?
Not necessarily
stronger than the kit
stronger.
and the stone, or?
Not
I'm trying to
necessarily.
understand the difference.
Not necessarily stronger, we're just hitting with a larger amount all at once.
Oh, I
See, when
see.
they leave, let's say we're working with someone with pancreatic cancer, okay? When they leave, we'll still send them out with the kits and the stones, okay?
All right.
But
that's
here
good.
we're going to go ahead and get them through the hard part, the first few days. See, that's the hardest part of my job. So when I get people that are sick and have cancer, get the phone calls, getting them through those first few days where they're having die-off in their body, and poison's dropping in their body too quick, and they're having a hard time getting through that. And that's where you come in, Bev.
And Jay, other than the healing crisis that's actually stimulated by the die-off, there's no danger of overexposure?
No, everything that we're going to use, see, when you do the research, they're talking about, when they talk about low-level radiation, if you look at their numbers, what they're considering low-level radiation, okay, we're not even getting close to. For me, I consider that high radiation. Everything that we use can never hurt you. That's important. We practiced this back in the 1910s, 20s, 30s, and 40s. We did, but a few people abused it. And see, that's why we're going to sell this stuff on the website. We have a control on it, so we get people better. Because the first time someone makes a mistake, and everybody just scoffs at it. They scoff at it. They're like, "That ain't working." No, it's working now. We have countless numbers of people that are better now.
Well, that's just like getting diarrhea from too much vitamin C. You just pull back.
That's right. See, when we monitor them, and then like the people even on the phone talk to us, well, I'm getting overwhelmed, back off a little bit. Don't stop, get back off.
Right.
But see, with what we're building here, where they can stay in the middle of nowhere, which I love it out here. We got support from the local community. We can go ahead and work with these people that are having those problems with the die-off, while we're doing it. And with the things that Bev's doing over there, in combination with what we'll do with the radon spas, it's a no-brainer. We've already proved it works. See, we know it works. Now it's just putting in place where people can do it and educate the public.
So I have one more question. How do you...
You're the troublemaker of the bunch, aren't you?
How do you assess the amount of radiation that's in the baths?
In the baths? Okay, actually,
With a Geiger counter? Like the
we
same
use a
as...
Geiger counter, but see, you got to remember, water only holds so much radiation.
Yeah, exactly.
It gets
So I was
saturated.
confused by
Okay.
that.
Depending on though, but see, then you got to be careful on the adjustments depending on the isotopes that it puts out in the steam. How fast it gives those off. You got it?
Yeah.
The
That's
water only holds
exciting.
so much.
It's the steam. That's what Bev was saying. Okay, I got it now. So will they be also sitting in the room then with the
Yes,
bath?
yes. So, but now we want to do it short periods. It's like, well, we had one doctor, call him a doctor, sat in a tub too long with that, and it just wiped him out.
Ate his skin off? No.
No.
You are a troublemaker.
JC, escort that woman out of here.
No, what
We got
it
the
did to
bouncer.
him was, it saturated his body so much that his joints were so full of uric acid that it made him stiff. And he was stiff for a couple of hours. But after that, then he felt so much better because the die-off was so quick
Right.
in the water.
I love
But
that.
in a couple of hours' time, he said he felt 10 years younger because that is where that all settles, is in your joints and the uric acid. So, yeah,
So-
you can OD on this, but only short period.
Right.
And if you stimulate the
Then you go for
detox,
20 years.
So you can put him in a foot bath, for instance, and
Sure. Sure.
increase the intensity of the detox, which would even
Well, yeah.
speed up the recovery.
Sure, sure. The one thing, that is why I said that we had a limit on how long they were in the
Right.
bath.
20 minutes.
20 minutes, because you don't want them to overdose while they're
Right.
here. And we would increase the amount. Am I correct?
So,
How
Dr.
much
Bev,
is
they
it?
have to go to Mexico for 20 years to get 40 minutes?
They have to go to well, I don't know.
Real
We'll
quick
keep
though, and
working
then we'll
on it.
wrap up and everybody can look around or whatever. I just want to really thank all my people, especially Faye, who's done a fantastic job with helping us for a long time now. And we have Cisco, works the website, helps, comes out and cuts stone once in a while.
Yeah.
Adam's
Cisco?
my stone cutter. He loves it when Cisco comes around and cuts necklaces because he can knock them out. JC's going to be working with me on how we educate these people. And then Carol, of course. Carol goes, she's been with me with this for years. We've traveled everywhere from Hawaii to New York.
We have to take a minute and let Carol tell her story, because it's pretty amazing.
Which one?
Your health story.
My backstory?
Yeah.
I never told this, Jay.
You never have?
Not in a group.
Well, it's
but I
going,
will.
it's going
But I
on,
will.
it's going out into the universe.
There you go.
Ooh, I want to hear
8 million
this.
people are gonna hear it, Carol.
The way I originally learned about the stones was from my former husband, who gave me a green stone about 2 years ago, about the size of my hand. It was a big one, because that's all we had at that time, were the green stones. And the reason I wanted it was that I had a back issue. For a year and a half, and this is really unusual for me, only Georg knows me here, but I'm a very natural kind of person. I don't use drugs at all. But for a year and a half, I kind of lived on a leave. And I would walk and go and do my work and take a leave twice a day. And so it was so welcome. When I got Jay's green stone, I started sleeping with it. And I didn't know what it was doing. I just knew it. I felt better when I slept with it. And so I kept doing that, and August, September of that year, I called Jay and I said, hey, can I work with you? You know, I really like this stuff. And he said yes, and then approximately a couple of months after that, we found different stones and the mud packs. And so that's where the mud packs started to come in, so I could then sleep on the mud packs and start using the mud packs for my back. And actually, I have a mud pack underneath all this stuff here. I wear it almost every day because my back still goes into spasm occasionally, especially when I'm stressed. And so that's the shortened version of my backstory. And we were talking about why I wear the mud pack, because my back gets inflamed. And when it gets inflamed, it gets stiff. And of course, if it gets too stiff, then it goes into pain. And I wear the mud pack almost daily, or at least sleep on it every day, so that the inflammation is reducing. And each and every week, I'm finding that my back is more and more it's healing, it's more and more possible to do more and more things. And so then I started doing what Jim Biggs did, and that's wearing a water stone at my neck. So that's why I have a scarf on. You know, Jim Biggs does that. So whatever Jim Biggs does, he's my hero here. he's on the website, and he's on YouTube if anyone wants to know more about him.
He's the helicopter pilot.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
So we have a back cure, we have an eye,
And neck
knee,
also.
and neck
And
cure. Because you said earlier that your doctor thought you weren't doing the neck exercises, but you were.
So I started wearing the water stone, and now I'm good to go. Now I'm fine. I'm better at the gym. My neck feels better and better, and less stiff. Yes, that's correct.
And we have an eye, knee, and foot cure. And I'm wondering if we have any other cures in the room.
Faye has the most amazing eye story. Oh my God, she
Come on,
told
Faye.
it in Phoenix. Could you tell it? It was so awesome.
Okay, can I sit down and tell it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I went to work at AirCam, which is where Cisco works, and Jay and I we did work there. I was there, 3 months?
So that's the helicopter company?
That's correct. And I was introduced to Jay and the stones, and immediately they were beautiful. So I had a necklace, and so I was having allergies that spring really bad. And so he cut me 2 special ones for my eyes. I went home. Within 3 days, I come to work, and I thought I was Frankenstein because I had big old blisters all over my eyes, huge ones. And I had to go to the eye doctor. They opened them up. It was not nice. They told me I would scar. I have absolutely no scarring. And I just stayed with it. I didn't give up. At first, I was very frightened. And then Jay, as he tells everyone, hey, it'll be okay. And I'm okay. So, yeah, that was pretty dramatic for me. It was lower lid and upper lid.
So the blisters, Jay, let's do
It
a kind
pulled
of...
stuff out of her.
Yeah.
Big time.
Because I no longer have
Blisters are
sinus
toxins
infections.
being
Yep.
pulled out and coming to the surface and wanting to leave the body.
Well, if it
trying
can't
to-
come through, it'll try to find the closest opening. But if it can't find the closest opening, it'll come right through the skin.
But I had sinus problems, a
Yeah.
lot, at least spring and fall. I haven't had one now in 2 years.
Isn't that exciting? Dr. Bev had a few stories too.
Well, I have a real personal story about my own husband. He was bit by a rattlesnake, and we used the radiation hormesis to help pull out the toxins out of his system. We used the water stone. He drank like a gallon of water a day, and along with using the green stones. And he wears a necklace, all the time. And it's kept him very, very healthy through all the things that he does. I have several clients. I have one that had candida in the sinuses, and she's sitting right here, Miss Jerry Ann. She can tell you about hers.
Now. I thought that I was just pretty run down, and I had suspected that I had candida in the sinuses for quite some time, and I could not get a doctor to prescribe me any type of antifungal medicine. And so I started working with Bev probably twice a week.
What made you suspect candida specifically?
my father died of cancer, and he had a lot of research that he had sent away for. This was way back before the internet. Lots of mailings, lots of cassette tapes, different doctors in different areas of the country. Some of them did study down in Mexico and worked with clinics down in that area. And they talked about women who had been actually institutionalized for mental illness due to candida. And I had had too many antibiotics for too long and was just really, really run down and was not eating right, did not have proper nutrition. So I still don't eat the best. It's getting better. My nutrition's getting better. I would literally get up in the morning and take a shower and get ready to go to work and would be ready for a nap. I was just that exhausted. My system was just that depleted, and started having foot baths twice a week, reflexology twice a week, an occasional massage, usually at least once a week. I did some of the colonics. And I don't feel like I'm completely healed yet, but I am on my way. But I've had chronic sinus infections for years and years and years, and she just keeps reassuring me that this didn't happen overnight, you're not going to get better overnight. And so I still see her twice a week, unless school interferes with that somehow. Had a tough time with concessions and football games and stuff like that, but I'm starting to get back on schedule now, and I expect a full and complete recovery, especially once the clinic completely opens and I can sit in the hot tubs and start again with the colonics. And I'm real excited to be working
So
with
Mark? Who? Faye was saying you were a witness to her eyes healing. Could you talk about what that looked like?
It was, it was...
Come in the light.
Mark was telling me for 3 years before I moved.
It was very bad. It had bubbled and pussed, and it was even in a yellowish stage. And I was a little worried about her for a while, and it really did help. I mean, I was really shocked. She was telling me about these rocks, and I was like, whatever, Faye, get to a doctor. And it worked. I was definitely, it wasn't the big rock person that I am now. That I've seen it, and it does definitely work.
It only takes one person to make sure that it is a turnaround. Word travels so fast in this world, and a positive, I mean, people have said, oh, well, they'll go up and pick up a rock out of the driveway and go, I can sell you this rock. And I go, no, it's not the same. It has to have the energy that you need to heal.
And not to mention the energy of the teams that we have created. Bev Ming has created a wonderful team. The Mineral Palace has a wonderful team. And we will be in conjunction together. Very, very, very close-knit. We want people to come here and feel like a family. Okay, you're coming to visit, and you're going to feel the warmth and the caring and the love.
So when your eyes get all pussy, you're not scared, right? Because
No.
you've got a support group of people who've been there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for being the pioneer on that one.
So how do we make this
Are we
all
ready?
happen?
How did we make it all happen?
Yeah.
Let's do it, please.
Can we introduce this man?
This is Wes
Wes
McKinley.
McKinley.
Ah, and what brought you here?
He's
Well,
the
I'm a cowboy
state,
from
yeah, he's
Southeast.
the district
And I
representative.
spent some time in Denver and knew Jay. And while you are new here, Jay, you did say the middle of nowhere, but I want you to think about something from right here, this hotel, anywhere that man has ever been, anywhere he ever set foot, you could get there from right here.
That's right.
So this is the center of everything.
Can I use that?
Sure, of course. You can use anything that I may say. I'm not sure that it will be backed by facts, but you can use it.
So how did-
We've got a place now where we get people to get better,
Sure, the center of everything.
That's right.
So how did you come upon Jay or this therapy, shall I say?
I carry the alternative health care bill in the state.
Really?
That gives you the right to practice medicine without being under the auspices of the Colorado Medical Practitioners Act.
Wow, how
I see.
revolutionary.
Yeah, some
This
people
is
thought it was
important.
too revolutionary.
Well, maybe we can work on the insurance companies to allow people to put their bills through them so they can have the natural therapy.
what that is, one of the fallacies that we do is we talk about health care and insurance in the same context.
Okay.
The insurance company could care less about your health.
I know.
They only look to the profit.
Exactly.
So going from there, we need to start talking about health care.
Sir, how long have you been a state representative for Colorado?
4 years.
For 4 years.
We
And
want
what
to
kind of-
import you back to New York.
also.
We need you in New York.
No,
I'm
we'll
quite happy
work.
here.
We'll work.
I don't know whether I could ever win an election anywhere because this is where I ride my mule and cook hamburgers and Billy plays a guitar for me.
That's
We'll
great.
have today.
So Billy,
great.
would you like to say a few words also, please?
Please.
Exactly about what? About,
Ask him a question.
well,
Jay, how did you meet Jay, Billy?
well, I met him through Representative McKinley, my friend. By the way, he rode the school bus with my wife.
Oh.
If it hadn't been for her, no telling where he'd have gone. But anyway, I called Jay about my eye problem because of Representative McKinley here, and he said, I think I can help you. And he has. I could give you the details, but I've given them once. So,
Right. It's a great story.
Can you give
Anyway.
us just a little bit of an overview?
oh, the
Billy?
overview is that I finally stopped driving a year ago in October. It was like 2007. I reluctantly quit driving, and after a real serious visit with my son and other people.
Pointing at you.
So it was pretty hard to do, to give up. My little pickup just sat out there, and I wanted me to drive it so badly. So finally, after about, I think 7 weeks, 5 to 7 weeks, I didn't really keep track. I said, I'm just going to go for a ride. I drove over to Wes's, over to Walsh, and anyway, then I drove back home, and I haven't driven a lot since then, but I could. I don't want to drive in Denver yet, but I would feel, well, you don't need, but I would feel good about driving in Pritchett. But the fact is, I feel good. I'm about 15 years younger. I'm going to quit when I get to 30.
Oh, that's 5 years better than when we talked to him, right? He was going to quit at 35.
He's going to be too young for us.
Thank you very much. In your little packet that you have
Bess Hutchins.
Des, hi. So I hear you have a very interesting story about how it is that you've treated your cancer, involving different modalities, both traditional and non-traditional. Do you want to tell us where your cancer is?
It's in my upper lobe of my left lung, and it's in a little spot on the lymph nodes. He's got a cancer in it.
And so, what did the doctors tell you originally they wanted to do, and what did you do?
Well, of course, originally we went up for fibrosis or something of the liver or the lung, and discovered his cancer, so we had to go to the cancer, and we took the chemo and radiation. And we took that.
And how long did you do the chemo and radiation for?
2 weeks of chemo and 6 weeks of radiation.
Well, what did you do before that, Bess? Do you remember we used the radiation hormesis
Oh yeah,
before that?
used this. What do you call it? Radiation hormone? I guess
Hormesis.
hormesis. Before that.
And then did you see any improvement just from the radiation stones
Yeah.
before you did the chemo and the radiation?
Yeah.
What improvement did you see?
I got to breathe a lot better for a while there, and using the rocks and stuff. And when I get the reflexology, it made me breathe a lot better.
And how long did you do the stones before you began to see improvement?
Well, it didn't seem like it was too long. I can't remember.
It was a couple of weeks,
Couple
I think,
weeks, I
wasn't it?
suppose.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't very long after that, I had to go to Denver, so it wasn't too long after that.
I think we worked with the Stones for 6 weeks before you went up to the hospital.
Yeah.
But the miraculous thing was, didn't your doctor say that was the best that he had ever seen because you didn't get any sores in your mouth or any reaction from the...
So you had no basic kind of side effects from the chemo and the radiation, which the doctor was surprised. So Jay says that when you do the low-level radiation stones, that it helps to prepare your body to receive the high-level, intense medical radiation. So that's the effect that we saw here.
And can you tell him that you took your rock with you everywhere you went?
Yep, I took it everywhere. When I went to radiation, I take it. Have to lay it over the side to get it out of the road of the radiation. Yeah, I wore it all the time.
And are you continuing to see improvement?
Well, it's, I got down pretty good from my chemo, but it's coming back pretty good now. I think from now on, I think we'll see a lot of improvement.
He came down with a slight case of pneumonia and was in the hospital because of his immune system being so low from the chemotherapy and radiation. But between my staff, we worked on him for 5 days running, and he got out of the hospital a lot sooner than they thought he would.
So you guys went to the hospital?
Yes, we did.
Whoa.
We went to the hospital.
That's
we made
commitment.
we made hospital calls instead of house calls. And then he came to us for 2 weeks and then went up, and he just got back last night after dark from having his radiation, and he wanted to be here today to visit with everybody.
Can I ask the unaskable question? Why did you do radiation and chemo high level?
Well, because I've got this other problem with my lungs, and they think it might be hereditary. And I had to get rid of this cancer before I can check out this other and see if I've got family. I need to check this out and see if there's a cure for this other too. So I had to get rid of this cancer quick if we could.
Well, and what do you think about that, Dr. Bev?
You know, the fibrosis is something that's in his lungs, and he had to get rid of the cancer so it would not be a secondary for his fibrosis. Once the cancer is out of there, then they can deal with the fibrosis.
And what is fibrosis?
Fibrosis is growths in your lungs that turn them like leather. They do not get the expansion, you know, they cannot expand for him to breathe.
And that's separate from cancer?
It is separate from cancer. It's an entirely different one. And I'm not sure if it's inheritable or not. Did they ever tell you,
They haven't
Bess?
decided yet for sure.
They haven't decided.
If it's hereditary.
Yeah, if it's
Right.
hereditary.
And that's what he was hoping that it wasn't. It was not, because he has 2 sons. And, you know.
Is there any other way of dealing with that? If radiation hormesis can't do it?
The cancer or the fibroids?
The leather, whatever it was that made him do such an aggressive therapy.
No. I think it just was that he did not want the cancer to get so severe. You know, and that's why he went ahead and did that.
I guess I'm confused. What's the difference between fibrosis and cancer?
Well, this here, the fibrosis just turns the leathers of the lung like a leather. They crackle. Just kind of
Fibrosis is
dry.
non-malignant.
Yeah, it's
And then
non-malignant.
cancer is just a sore cancer.
But you didn't think that the hormesis could help the cancer?
Well, I don't know.
The
I'm
cancer.
sure it can.
Oh, I think it'll get rid of his cancer without any problem at all, and that just gives him a new lease on life.
But you don't think it will help the fibrosis?
I think it'll help the fibrosis, but not at
The pace that you
yes,
needed.
right. And we wanted to get rid of the cancer first.
But I keep getting confused. Get rid of the cancer first or the fibrosis? Because I thought, because the cancer, I talked to a lady named Maxine Murray who dealt with a patient whose breast cancer was oozing from February until July, and overnight with a hot rock, it stopped the oozing, and within 5 days, nice new pink skin was growing over the 6 oozing sores. So I know it can work very quickly. To me, that seems to be getting rid of cancer quickly.
Yes, it does. But as he said, you know, he wanted to make sure this wasn't inheritable by his children. So he went up and did the radiation and the chemotherapy to
I could see why you wanted to be here today, you know?
Oh, he knows half the people that are here, if not all of them.
But go on, because I'm still struggling. Maybe in editing I'm going to understand this better, but I'm just a little confused.
The fibrosis is such a dilapidating disease because it turns it to leather. Your lungs should be very supple. They should be able to breathe in and out. What it would do would literally turn it to stone. Okay.
So were they afraid that he was going to die from the fibrosis before he was going to die from the cancer?
Right.
So high-level radiation is good to break up the leather?
No, it was just to kill the cancer.
Kill the cancer.
Yeah.
What would you have done?
That's an unfair question.
It's an unfair question?
I think that's an individualized question.
Well, see, I'm supposed to...
If I hadn't had no family, there wouldn't have been no question.
Yeah, it was a family issue. It was a family issue.
I wouldn't have,
okay,
I wouldn't have considered the high.
He would have stayed right with me and done everything that I needed him to do.
That's pretty typical, though. That's pretty typical, and I think that's in many ways why people come here for 10 days. I think, don't you think, Jane? You're a psychologist, a psychoanalyst. Don't you think?
Are you asking?
I'm asking a professional opinion.
Do people come here because they're so fearful about
their family's reaction?
Well, I want the reaction is their health. I want to see if it hadn't been for my other kids' health or my kids' health and things, I would have even considered going and taking the radiation chemo. I just stayed here with.
I think I'm missing something, Jane. What am I missing?
No, I'm missing it too, but I got something else.
Am I hearing you correctly that you basically did this because you want to be here for your family?
I want to find out what's causing it for my family, the fibrosis.
Because it's a genetic? You think it's a genetic? So you want to make sure that they don't get it and that you got it handled. Yes, I understand. Okay. Yeah.
How do you make sure they don't get it?
Well, if it's genetic and he has it and he can heal it, then it will not be passed on because then they know what to do, if I understand correctly. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, if they can find a cure for it,
yes,
we can stop it. But if we can't, why, it wasn't. I didn't waste nothing, I guess, by doing it, but then.
He was after a cure for fibrosis. Found out he had cancer. So they wanted to do chemotherapy and radiation.
Well, what is the cure for fibrosis?
They don't know.
They don't know.
So what did he go and do? Who suggested high-level radiation?
That's for the cancer.
The Jewish hospital in Denver. The lung specialist in Denver.
Recommended it.
Recommended it.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, I just walked up here.
I thought I might actually count the houses.
Hey guys, are you guys gonna eat something or do you just want to wait and eat cake?
Yeah. What about yesterday? Yes. Yeah. I know. Is that just amazing? I think you're right. I don't know. And he put
That is very cold.
Hey, where are you people from?
What?
You from Pritchett?
Yeah. Yes.
Really? How many people are in the school? Or where do you go to school?
Pritchett? No. Somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there? So you walk to school every day?
No. We ride the bus.
You ride the bus because you live way out. Are you on a cattle ranch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah? So you take care of the cows and
Yes.
I bet you get up early in the morning, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes.
What's your name?
Faith.
Faith? And your name?
Matthew.
And your name?
Morgan.
Are you in the same ranch?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, you can see yourself on YouTube. Do you ever get on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay tuned.
Have a short.
Doc. Or you're not. Oh, do you work for
Say, I figured out some of the population of Pritchett. Those kids over there have to take a bus into school because they live on a cattle ranch.
Nope.
Yep. Wow. So it's not just all just the city, Jane.
Do they go to school in Springfield?
He said just a couple blocks away.
Farewell.
That's what I thought.
Okay, start there first. Okay. We'll get it now. How did we get off on that, I wonder? Well, thank you.
Well, they're loving it.
Let's play that there, Wabash Cannonball. Wes? Where's Wes?
I almost missed that train, Billy. I was over eating and nearly missed the train. Billy Whitfield playing the fiddle and the guitar, and this is his lovely wife Loretta back here doing the music for us. And I was glad to have Billy. He helped me campaign. You all heard him play all over the country. It's always amazing we'd get to a political thing, and if I couldn't talk or I was kind of hoarse or something, I'd say, Billy, just go ahead and give that political speech. You know, he would get up there and sound better than I sound.
Oh, right.
But I never could play the guitar and make it sound as good as he does, and I haven't figured that out, but I keep trying. We got a couple of political songs here. This is one. Well, we'll wait until he gets his guitar. But 40 miles of bad road ahead, and detour.